Okay then, so now that we are back, let's take a look at a few things on the Venus map. I've obviously gone and cleared through a few nodes here. I just wanted to make sure I knew what was what and where we could get good stuff on Venus, so I could direct you guys correctly on where you should be getting some good stuff. Now, realistically speaking, there aren't very many good nodes for us here, and we should probably talk about Fortuna as well as Cetus and the Plains of Eidolon. We're going to be avoiding both of these as much as we can for now, mostly because A, to get anywhere with them, you're going to want to be at a much higher level. You can go there and do some lower level missions, but it takes longer. We don't have access to very much standing yet, which is capped by our mastery rank, so obviously you're not going to know this right now, but basically you'll have a certain amount of standing you can gain with a faction per day, and that is your mastery rank plus 1 times 1,000. So right now we can get 2,000 mastery per day, and like the later amounts need like 100,000. It's just almost pointless for us to go there. So we're going to avoid these for now, and we'll come back to them once we're in a position where we can actually start making some progress, which is probably going to be when we get to like mastery rank 10ish. So in terms of things that are going to be good here, obviously we already spoke about Romula in the previous episode. This is going to be good for money. We also want to make sure we have access to Malva. This is going to be good for resources and good for leveling up your stuff. It's going to be important from now on because we are now going to need to be cycling out weaponry. So if we come over to me here, Volt is at 30, the Bratton is at 30, Leto's getting quite high now. So we're going to want to start changing things up because we need to get affinity. Now, I haven't done like a full affinity guide yet, but here's something that's going to kind of just tide you over. First up, we got the Taxon, and the day after that has been put into build. We should now be able to equip that. That's going to give us quite a bit. Counts as a Warframe, and it comes with a weapon as well. So make sure when you have that, you can put that on straight away. This is going to be a significant boost to your ability to level up. Apparently, it doesn't come with a weapon. Oh yeah, it does. Why did it not equip it? That's real weird. Sorry. So make sure you get that on straight away. In addition, there are a few weapons that we can purchase and use immediately. One of the most obvious ones is we are using the MK1 Bratton, which is like a downgraded version, is we can upgrade directly to the Bratton, and this one only costs credits, and it will actually be available to us straight away. I got a 75% off voucher, and I'm not going to be buying anything platinum related just yet until I get a voucher off the actual platinum itself, so that's just not going to happen. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to upgrade to the normal Bratton. There are other weapons in here that we can buy. So we have the MK1 Paris, we have the Strun, and the MK1 Strun. So we've got 4 weapons that we can directly purchase as primaries and continue to level. Once they run out though, we are going to need to start moving on to these ones. So you can see these ones here are just showing for platinum. I don't know if it does, yeah, it does show you the blueprint, here we go. You can see here the materials that we need. Anything that says plastids, we are too early in the game for. So I think that was the Carrack. We can't build the Carrack. The Burston, though, should be pretty easy. Yep, we have everything for the Burston. So we should probably get something like that building, because this is going to take a while to actually manifest as something we can use. So all of the weapons, apart from those starter ones that we just saw, you will need to come into here and you'll need to build them. Most weapons do in fact only take 12 hours, which is good. Warframes take a fair amount longer. It's 3 days for the full Warframe and 12 hours for each of the parts, so it's going to take at least 3.5 days if you're mega efficient. So you kind of want to have that happening all over the place. I think this is Master Rank 2 required. Now I have, of course, gotten the ability to rank up, but we're going to do that in a second. So you want to make sure you're building stuff, and this is why we needed to have access to the credit farm, the early credit farm. Every 2 rounds that should get us a new weapon that we can be building. So that's just something that you can take care of as and when you feel like you need to. If you want to grind that out now and have like lots of weapons building, you can do that. Weapons in the foundry itself do not take weapon slots. So the good thing about this is you can have them all waiting for you, level it up, and then when you are finished with the weapon, so for example, we don't really want to have that MK1 Bratton anymore because it's basically useless to us, because this is just going to be a direct upgrade damage-wise. We come in here, select it, and then sell it off because we don't need it. Just be careful with some of them, because some of them are in fact like ingredients to future weapons, and positive the scanner is, I can't remember. You need 2 Latos to make the Ak Lato, which is like a double Lato weapon. So just bear that in mind sometimes, that you may need to have additional reason to keep these. But realistically speaking, they don't need to be maxed out. So if you need to like free up the spaces, you can sell it and then just rebuild it up later. So that's not a complete issue anyways. So just make sure you're staying on top of that. Obviously we can't get hold of Vault yet. Get rid of Vault, should I say, because it's our only Warframe. And our next available Warframe that we can get without joining a clan drops on Fossil. Now, this is a requirement to move over to Mercury, so there's no reason not to farm Rhino up. And we'll go through how to get that when we get there. However, we can't actually build Rhino until we get Plastids. It needs Plastids to build, as do most of the Warframes. And it also needs Orokin cells. And these drop on Phobos or Ceres. So we've got to get, like, what's this? So we've got to finish Mercury to be able to get to Mars. We've got to finish Mars to be able to get to Phobos and Ceres. So we've got like 3-4 planets to go before we can even build one. So it's up to you guys. You can farm Rhino ready. Basically, the way this will work is each time you finish the mission, you'll get 1 part of Rhino. There are 3 in total to get. At which point you can go to the marketplace, exactly where we saw the weapons. So like over here, find the Rhino blueprint, build all of the parts, then put all the parts into the blueprint, and that'll take you a while. Again, we'll go through that when we're actually ready to build Rhino up though. The other thing that we should be keeping an eye on is Nightwave. So you may have heard the radio lady coming on up, but if you come and interact with this, we'll be greeted with this menu. So this kind of works a little bit like one of the factions, apart from it's just kind of like passively done as you go through missions. There's not really much I'm going to walk you through on here. If you don't know what something is, then probably it's something you haven't encountered yet. For example, mine 0 to 6 rare gems or ore on the plains of Eidolon. We haven't been to the plains of Eidolon. We don't have a drill yet to do the mining, so we can't do it. We can do mobile defenses though, so that's obviously something that I'm going to do because that's going to get me to 10,000, and that is going to unlock these creds. When that happens then, whatever your button is, you can see down here on the bottom right, you have a button that says cred offerings. So if I press Y, that's going to take us to another menu where we can spend those creds. Things to prioritize on this menu are going to be things called aura mods. Now, any aura mod is better than no aura mod, but ideally you want one that matches the polarity, so the symbol of your Warframe. We're going to take a look at that in a minute. As well as the Orokin reactors and catalyst. If you don't already have them, this is going to be a pretty good source for them. And there is also a Warframe in here as well, which actually we can mostly... No, so it still needs plaster, so we still can't build this one either. Same limitation. And we're going to need Orokin cells, which is another resource from those planets too. So again, like early on, there's no need to be getting Vauban. It's not a particularly important Warframe, so we can leave that out. So main things to be getting, you want to get yourself some aura mods. Any will do. Let's take a look at Vault here. I can't remember what its main polarity is. This can be changed, by the way. So if you pick, say, the rifle one, and you decide you... I mean, I've got a Y anyway, so that's actually perfect for me. If you get like another Warframe, this is like the D shape instead. You can always change it with one of the former. Go over that maybe later on when we look at mods. But you definitely want to make sure you get one of the aura mods. And I can't show it right now because obviously I don't have one. Basically, aura mods add to your Warframe capacity instead of taking away. So the moment you can get one of those, that is just going to make everything better. Especially when that's doing 20% extra damage on rifles. That's really good. This also passes on to other players. This is just going to be naturally really powerful early on. Rifle Scavenger, really not that great. Rejuvenation is okay-ish. So another one. We've got Infested Impotence. That's actually pretty good if you're going to go survival. That's not bad. Brainstorm. No, don't care about that. There are weapons in here too. So like if you end up, you've got all of these important stuff that you want. And then you come in here and you go, oh look, heat sword. That's a thing. That's going to get you more affinity. You might want to grab that too. Okay then, so going over other nodes that are going to be important to us then. The one that I would suggest we do the most of, and it's the one that I haven't actually done, because I kind of want to show it to you guys how an excavation works, is Killican. This is because you want to come in here and you want to do 3 rounds, because that's going to get you to rotation B. And that gives you a chance of getting the Intensify mod. This is going to make it so that your Warframe powers do more damage. So let's go in here and take a look at how this works. Again, so when you wake up in the mission, you're going to find that you have, or should have, anyways, 1 dig complete. You could be part of the way through the mission. Not dig complete, dig to complete, should I say. But there can be multiples of these during the mission. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to run over there now real quickly, show you guys how this works. So you want to get over here, and then the thing's going to drop from outer space. and it's going to start working. Now you should be able to see that our power is only 16%, so we need to kill enemies. And the enemies we need are these ones here. You can see the big thing on his back. Look, we need to go ahead, pick that up, and then just bring it over, and that's going to power it up. Okay, we want to get this done as quickly as we can. Obviously, we need to defend it as we do it, so let's just go forward a little bit. Okay, and then once it's done, it'll just kind of disappear, and then you'll have a new one to go and sort out. We've also already had another one arrive here, so we're going to head to this B. Obviously, you can carry one around with you as well, so that's all good. Other tips are that the...
Find another cell.
Let's go ahead and defend that, I don't know what to do. Right. That the power cells will in fact restore the shield of it as well, so you can use them to defend it. And the way it goes is it'll go rotation A, rotation A, rotation B, and we want to have rotation B for the intensify, at which point we will leave. There is technically a rotation C after that, but then it's going to take longer. It's going to be every 4, and each time you complete one of these, the enemies will go up slightly in level. So we're going to do 3 of these, and we're going to leave. Again, so we got 3 rounds in. We only got a relic for the rotation B, which is unfortunate. So it's going to take a few runs. I think it's something like 7.6% drop rate, so it's not the best. So what I would say is don't like spend like days and days and days stuck here for intensify. But if you find yourself just wanting to level some stuff and you don't really fancy doing a survival, this is going to be a good place just to come and get that done. Either way, we're going to go ahead and we're going to extract now, and then we're going to take on the Master Rank 2 test. Okay then, so with all that's done, we're going to take on Master Rank 2. Just as we are loading that up, I'm just going to say, so I think going forward, the easiest thing for me to maybe do is when we get to like a new mission type, something like this, maybe I'll do like a quick demo, a little bit like we did with the excavation there. If you guys have questions or anything, I don't mind redoing a video on how to do an excavation or something like this. But I'm just trying to keep this brief. I don't want to keep you guys here forever. This is basically the same thing with the sidearm, which is very nice. I've got mods on the later now, so this should be going to be easy. Don't get powers at all. Wow. So, yeah, I'll set some like objectives. So, for example, the objectives for this one are going to be to get yourself, make sure you have a level 30 Warframe, and get the standard Braton to rank 30. Once that's done, we should be mostly ready to maybe give Jackal a go. Now, the good thing is, the game is structured in such a way that you'll probably see higher level players there anyway, which is real nice. So, like, when you're running through there, it's fairly likely you'll see some higher level players that'll probably carry you through it. But I just don't want you to be there and be like, oh my god, I can't do anything against this guy. So we'll go in, I'll show you how to take the Jackal on, because it is, like, kind of tough, especially as, like, the first boss of the game. So we'll do that as its own video.
Hordes has received messages for the operator.
Yay.
No, I have not read them.
And now that we're Master Rank 2, we've unlocked access to new weapons. Now before somebody goes and buys it, because they're going to get one anyway, do not, not in Warframes, in weapons, do not purchase the Boltor. This is actually a pretty decent early game weapon. We're probably going to use this for quite a while. Until we get access to some other weapons like the Heck. But we'll talk more about that later. So this is going to be probably the weapon that we move to as like the weapon that we want to be taking enemies on with. However, we're going to get that blueprint for free when we take on the Mercury Junction. So I wouldn't advise purchasing that. Also, just, I can't remember if we went over quests or not. Quests are contained in here. We don't have very many available right now. I thought we had Force Prize available. Yeah, Force Prize is done. So, some of these, we've got some time before we can actually start getting these unlocked. We'll have Call of the Kubro soon, so hopefully that actually gives us a Kubro to start with, which will be nice. I've got some mobile defenses to do, so I'm going to go ahead and get that done so I can unlock some goodies from the Nightwave. Hope that helps you out. Let me just make sure I've gone over this. So make sure you have a rank 30 Warframe. Make sure you have gotten the standard Braton to 30. Oh, and make sure you get your redirection and serration mods to level 6 so that we're actually doing some good damage, right? So we want good shields. So I've got a level mine at 1, and we want to have decent damage. I haven't got my serration on yet, but my serration's already 6, so we're pretty good with that. That's going to be my recommendation. That's probably what we're going to do. And then once we've hit that point, we are going to go ahead and take on the Jackal. So I'll see you guys again soon.